Hey, what's up, guys? Today I'm going to show you how to make this customized decal for Unreal Engine inside Substance Painter. All right, so let's get started. So first thing first, you have to create a plane object inside your 3D program like 3ds Max. So I'm just gonna create a very simple square plane. Just make it a square. All right, it doesn't matter how big it is. And then we're going to the modifier panel and set the segments to 1 by 1. And make sure you have this generate mapping chords checked so we don't have to worry about the UVs. Now we have this perfect square plane. Then we can export selected. Maybe we create a folder for him. Just have to call and give it a name. Call plane. All right, save it as a FBX, okay? Make sure you have the settings right, and then hit OK. Good. Now we can go to the Substance Painter. We can create a new project, and here we can import our plane object, and you can set the document resolution as you want. And I'm gonna use 2K. That's okay for me. And then the normal map format, we're going to use DirectX. All right. And then we hit OK. So before we do anything, we have to do some presettings. Okay, first thing first, we have to go to the shader settings and change our shader to PBR metal rough with alpha blending. That will enable us to paint the opacity channel. And then we can go to the texture set settings, and inside channels we can add a opacity channel. And inside display settings, I always change the environment map to this Studio Tomoko. And so first thing first, we can go to the layers, and we can delete this empty layer right here and create a new fill layer and rename it as maybe base. Under the channels, we can turn off all the channels except the opacity. Here you can see if we dial this down, we can make this plane transparent, right? Right now, I don't want to make it totally transparent. I'm just going to leave it as 1. And after that, we can create a new layer, a fill layer actually. I'm going to name it text 1. We can give him initial settings, like we can set the colors to gray and give him a little bit height. And as for roughness, we can give him maybe lower value and a metallic as much as you want. I'm just going to make it 0. And then we can add a black mask for it. And inside the black mask, we can add a fill effect to it. And inside the fill, choose a font you like. I like to use this font Orbitron. Okay, as you can see, now we have this effects, right? And then we can change the text, like air lot. And I'm going to make it bold. Okay. All right. Now we have this text, but if you want to change the position and the size of the text, we can use the decal system inside Substance Painter. So we can go to the projection parameter and set it to like planar projection, right? It works just like the decals inside Unreal Engine. So we can hit E to rotate it. While you rotate, you can hold and press Shift to make it snap. See, just like that. And then you can hit W to move it around like that. You can hit R to scale it up and down, right? But as you can see, we have some repetitions, right? That's not what I like. So we can right click and change the UV wrap into none. Okay, see? That's what I like. It won't repeat. All right. Then we can maybe scale it down a little bit and move it aside. And maybe we can add some imperfections. We can right click and add another fill. We can give him a grunge alpha to it. Okay. And don't forget to change the blending mode to subtract. Okay. As you can see, now we have some imperfections, but it don't look so good. So we can right click here and change the balance of this grunge, maybe a little bit, and increase the contrast a little bit. Okay, and then we can also set the opacity of this layer to maybe a lower value like this. Good. Now we have this first text. Now we can duplicate this layer by hit Control D. We can move it around like this. And don't forget to change the text. Maybe we can give him a number like 25. Okay. And move it to the right position. Maybe we can use a different color. So we go back to the main material and change the color to a maybe orange color like this. All right, you can duplicate this layer one more time and change the text. Okay, you can drag it over here. Maybe change the text to proceed with caution. Make it smaller. Don't forget you can also scale it and move it around. If you want to make more details, you can. But now we can get ready to export it to Unreal Engine. All right. So we go back to the base layer and turn this opacity value to 0. Okay. So we're good to go. We can hit Control, Shift, and E. Open up the export settings. But before we export, we have to create a customized output templates. We go to the output template and then hit the plus button. We're going to name it Decals or UE. And right down here, we can click this button to add a RGB channel and name it as Decal 01, maybe, underscore, base color. Okay, and inside this RGB channel, we're gonna plug in this base color information. Okay, from RGB channel. And then we're gonna create another RGB channel for the normal map. So we're gonna call it decal 01 underscore normal. All right, and we're just gonna give him a normal direct X from RGB channels too. Okay, and then we also need the opacity information, the roughness, and the metallic. In order to do this, we can use a R plus G plus B. Okay, we're gonna call it decal 01. We're just gonna name it maybe like ARM. A is for alpha, and R stands for roughness, and M is the metalness. So we're gonna plug in the opacity inside the R channel from gray channel. And then we're going to find the roughness and put it in the G channel and the metallic inside the B channel. All right, so I think we're good to go. So let's get back to the settings. We can choose a directory. We're going to export right here. Create a new folder, maybe. It's called Decals01. All right. And as for the output templates, we're going to choose the templates we just created, named Decals for UE, right? And as for the file type, we're just going to leave it as PNG, and that's okay. And as for the size, we're going to use maybe 2K. All right, I think we're done. So we can just click the export button to export all the maps. We can click this output directory to check out our maps. Okay, that's all we got. All right, after we exported the maps, we can go back to Unreal Engine. All right, we can create a new folder, like we can name it as Decal, and then we can bring in our maps, drag the 3 into this folder. There we go. And before we do anything, we can double click on the ARM map. Remember, this is a 3-in-1 map. We can double click to open the edit window. And inside this search bar, we can type in sRGB to turn it off. And this way it's going to make the roughness map looks right. And then we can create a new material called M_IKAL. Okay, double click on that to open the material editor. First thing first, we have to change the main material from surface under here. As you can see, we have this material domain. We can change it from surface to deferred decal. And as for the blend mode, we're going to set it to translucent. All right, that will enable the opacity channel for us. And then we can drag in the 3 maps we just created. As for the base color map, it's very simple. Just plug it in the base color channel. And as for the normal map, simply plug in. And as for this map, it's called ARM, right? So inside the R channel, it stores the opacity map. So we're going to drag it over here. And as for the grain channel, it stores the roughness map. So we're going to plug it right here. And inside the B channel, it stores the metallics. But actually, we're not going to use this material directly. We're actually going to make instances of it. So let's right-click on this map and convert to parameter and give it a name as the base color. And as for this one, we're going to convert it to parameter 2 and give him the name ARM. And as for the normal map, the same thing. Convert to parameter and name it normal. All right. I think that's it. Now we're good to go. Let's save it. All right. Close this window and go back here. We're going to right click on our decal material and create an instance. Let's name it MI, stand for material instance, underscore, decal 01 maybe. All right. Now, if you want to change the maps, you can change it from here. And then we can drag this MI decal 01 directly onto my wall. As you can see, the direction is not right. So we can hit E to rotate it and maybe scale it down a little bit. All right, I think that's it. Thanks for watching.